Okay, today we're going to show you how we make our ciabatta bread. So I've already put in here 1¼ cups of water, warm water, 1¼ cups of starter. If you don't have a starter, Google it. There's tons of stuff out there right now how to start your own starter. Then we added a teaspoon of salt and 3½ cups of flour. This dough you don't even need to knead at all. You can see it's really sticky and super sticky dough. Anyways, I'm just gonna pull out my dough hook. I'm gonna cover it with either plastic wrap or a wet kitchen towel, and I'm gonna let it rise at room temperature for about 2 to 3 hours until it's double in volume. Okay, so the ciabatta dough has been rising for a few hours. It's nice and bubbly and bigger than it was before. The key with the ciabatta, since it's such a sticky dough, is to have lots of flour on your surface. So I'm gonna get my hands floured and then try to scoop out the dough without squishing it too much. You want it to stay nice and workable. Okay, get the last little bits out of there. And then shaping the loaves is pretty easy as long as you keep all the surfaces covered with flour so that it's not too sticky. So I'm gonna kind of throw some on top, kind of pull it out. You want it to be generally in the shape of a rectangle. All right, make sure that it's not sticky. Okay, there we go. So you're just gonna shape it into a rectangle, and then this will make 2 loaves. So I'm just gonna cut it down the middle, and then I'm going to kind of shake off the extra flour, put a little bit on the spot where I cut it, and then put it on my baking sheet. And so if you want short fat loaves versus long skinny loaves, you can kind of shape it as you're cutting it. So I could leave this one short and fat. We're going to use these for BLT sandwiches tonight, so I want mine to be kind of long, skinnier loaves. Again, just shaking off the flour. And then I'm going to put it on my cookie sheet. And then I'm going to cover this with a wet kitchen towel and let this rise for 2 more hours. And then I'm going to preheat my oven to 450 degrees. And I'm going to bake them at 450 for about 15 minutes. That's it. Okay, so the ciabatta is done. It didn't look quite brown enough for me after 15 minutes, so I left it in for a couple more. So I'm going to let these cool and then we'll cut into it tonight. Hi, so our bread has cooled down and I've sliced it so that we can make sandwiches. And you can see this is my favorite thing about ciabatta. It's got a thin, crispy crust. Inside it's soft and chewy and it's got all these big air bubbles in it. So we're getting ready to load ours up with some bacon, lettuce, tomato, then slice it across and that'll be our dinner.